What's going on, guys? In today's project, we're talking about this absolutely beautiful pair of genuine alligator skin shoes. Now, these run for around about the $2,000 mark, which makes them the most expensive pair that I've ever worked on. Check out that leather, check out those soles. Every single thing about these shoes screams luxury. And today's goal, we're going to be converting them into custom golf shoes. And when they're done, trust me, this customer is going to be the coolest guy on the golf course. It's an exciting project, but with something this valuable, we're going to have to take every single step with extreme care. Alright guys, so let's jump straight into it. Alright guys, so we're going to begin the breakdown process on these beautiful alligator shoes. Now it seems a total shame to destroy these soles and heels, but we're doing a golf shoe conversion, so the only way we can do that is to remove everything that's here. So we're going to start with the top lift and the heel block, and then we're going to grind down these stitches, pull this sole off. Alright, so this is the part that I'm not really going to like, but it's time to destroy these beautiful soles. So we're just going to pry this sole up quite gently, get this away from where the welt is. So first look on the inside of these, they're just your normal typical construction, except what's slightly different here is that our heel rand area at the back is actually stitched on, as you can see from there. A lot of the time it's just glued on and nailed in, but these ones are a little bit more advanced and they've gone for a proper stitch around the back there, so that's really keeping that tight, keeping that held on. The shank area here, they've used fiberboard and the shank is actually glued to that fiberboard underneath here. I'm sure it's probably nailed down as well, but with the price of these, they could have upgraded that to a piece of leather, but it's on the inside, so it's not really anything to worry about. They've covered the shank with a little piece of cloth as well, so that's quite nice. So our cork area is actually quite pristine. Because these shoes are brand new, they've never been walked on, so there's no compression there. It's a brand new layer of cork, so for this repair, we're not actually going to be changing that at all. We're just going to leave it as it is, sand it a wee bit flatter, and then that should be ready for the new soles to go on. Now for a shoe with as much luxury quality as these, we're going to be using none other than the best JR leather. So in order to keep these shoes back as close to the originals as possible, we're going to be doing some leather dye. So first off, we're going to be doing some oxblood leather dye. Going to give these soles a good colour, and then to top that off, we're going to add some Saphir cream, which is the Rouge Hermes colour. So we're going to put that in afterwards. So we're just going to get this loaded up onto a sponge and get this sole nice and dyed. Now I like to save quite a lot of my soles. A lot of the time I use them to go on my cool sole wall, but for this project we're going to be using this old template from a FootJoy. So this is an old golf shoe sole, and this will give us a great alignment of where to position the holes. So that's all of our holes punched, and this is the little metal plate that will sit underneath the sole, and that will allow us to screw all the cleats in. Now when aligning these soles up, it can be quite tricky to get the cleats bang in the centre, especially with this shoe having quite a narrow profile. So we're just going to take our little time and try and get these as centered as possible. So we're going to be changing the bobbin colour thread. We've got white in the machine at the moment, but what we want to do is have a nice black thread for this kind of style. So the original soles had a black thread on them, so we're going to replicate that and have a black top and bottom thread. There we have it. Just going to tidy up that stitch a little bit, and we've hit all the original holes in the welt there. Jobs are good. So something cool happened last week. We've made the front page of the Dunfermline Press. Quite cool to have a spread in the local press. I'll drop the link to the online article in the description below. You guys can have a proper read through. Alright guys, so that's completely done with this week's huge project. Working on these alligator skin shoes was both a pleasure and a privilege. They definitely have to be the nicest pair of shoes that I've ever had in the workshop. And I don't want to be biased or anything, but I think it's one of the nicest jobs that I've managed to put out. So guys, drop me a little comment below, let me know what you think about the finished results, and I guess we'll catch you in next week's video. Peace out.